So this video is about VPN. Now, every time you want to connect to the internet, you must have heard that it's safer to connect via VPN rather than just going raw on the internet, right? So whenever you are on an open public network like a cafe or the airport or the station, the railway station, so you don't want to use that open public network directly from your device. You want to use a VPN. Now, there are a lot of myths around VPN, and people say that you just can't be hacked if you're using a VPN, or governments can't snoop on you. So we'll also understand all of that. But first, we'll understand about what a VPN is. So a VPN is basically an encrypted tunnel from your device to a VPN gateway or server. Okay. Now, you don't want a lot of advertisers to irritate you, or government agencies to spy on you, or hackers to actually get hold of your sensitive data. That's why VPNs have been popularized. But I'm not sure if they do any of these things properly. But they're at least the first step of protecting you on the internet. So if you look at this diagram, this is your device, then this is the VPN client, which is what you connect to. The VPN client actually sends all of your data encrypted through a tunnel, which is called as the VPN tunnel, to a VPN server, which then actually connects to the internet. So this increases the privacy. So your traffic is essentially wrapped inside this tunnel, carried to the gateway, unwrapped there, and then forwarded to its final destination. So the client encrypts the packet, wraps in new IP header for VPN server. VPN server decrypts and forwards to destination on private network. And the response, whatever response would be traveling back from the VPN tunnel, and the VPN server encrypts it first and then sends it to the client, which decrypts it and then sends it to our device. Now, obviously, you know that the VPN client actually runs on our computer. So it's been shown like this in the diagram, but this is actually happening on your computer. And now let's use this diagram to understand it better. So without a VPN, our device actually uses the internet service provider and directly connects to the internet. And our IP address is for everyone to see, and so is some of our data sometimes. But with a VPN, your device actually connects to a VPN client, and the IP address that's being used is of the VPN server, and everything else in between is encrypted. So the VPN tunnel encrypts the data. The ISP, your internet service provider, does not know the destination of where your information is headed, and hackers cannot really hijack this. But then there are some caveats, right? Let's dig down into the caveats. I want to take a quick minute to share something very important with you. Now, as you move up in your engineering career, DSA and coding become less and less important, and system design becomes more and more important. To the extent that if you're going for a director, VP, or CTO position, the only thing they're checking for are your system design skills, because they assume that since you've spent so much time in the industry, you're very good with coding and DSA. Now, there are many resources on the internet for basic system design, but there isn't much for advanced level system design or using system design skills to actually work with complex systems. And this is why I've built a 3-month advanced system design cohort. If you're someone who has some experience in the industry and you resonate with this problem statement, you might want to fill the form that's in the comments and in the description of this video. 20 people have already joined up in this cohort. We'll check to see if you're a good fit once you fill the form, and we'll set up a time with you. Now let's get back to the video. So hackers can't hack you with a VPN. This is a myth. Even though a VPN does stop common network level attacks on local or untrusted network, like sniffing and many man-in-the-middle attempts and simplistic DNS hijacks, but does not stop endpoint attacks like malware, phishing, or vulnerable OS and services, and account takeovers or malicious websites. It doesn't protect you from all of that. Now, the other myth is that the government agencies cannot snoop. Now, agencies on your local path or your ISP path can't see inside a well-configured tunnel. That's true. But they can target the VPN provider itself whenever they need to, with legal orders or tapping or covert implants, and correlate traffic timing across multiple vantage points or compromised endpoints. So a VPN is basically not an anonymity system. So things to think about when using this in system design. So decide whether all your client traffic or only your internal traffic goes through VPN. That's one thing you need to think about when doing system design. This reduces bandwidth load. And also, in your system, you'll also have some VPN nodes. So you'll have to size your VPN nodes properly or use hardware accelerators, because encrypting and decrypting at scale can be CPU intensive, right? So all of this encryption and decryption between the client and the server that's happening at the server side or at the client side, this can be CPU intensive. So you have to be sizing the VPN nodes properly. Now, the reason why I covered VPN in system design and why I think this should be on your radar and you should be always thinking about VPNs is because when you're building a system, right? When you're solving a system design problem, a lot of people will completely ignore the fact that you would need a VPN and the fact that you would need to size those VPN nodes, and that these processes would actually be CPU intensive. And then the system that you end up with will not be that secure and also will not have any provisions for VPN. And VPN is required in many, many different types of softwares, right? So you just need to be aware about it. Now, you can read more about VPNs if you want to, but for now, from a system design perspective, you're quite well covered and you have a basic running understanding of VPN. Now, in the next video, we learn about something interesting and it's called SSH. So I hope to see you in the next one.